Hey, I'm back. What's up everybody? And in this video, we are going to be doing something a little bit different and taking a look at the stock watch for Detroit Lions players after last night's game. Let's get right into the video. Some of you might have saw the video I posted this morning and you're like, wow, this guy's kind of upset. He's kind of mad. He's usually very positive. What the heck is this stuff? Well, if you guys can't tell, that's actually me from last night. I uploaded it today. The reason I was maybe not as positive as usual is basically because, one, I was tired. I was just on a live stream for 3 hours, and then I had to go record and edit and try to get it up for this next morning because I wasn't going to be home. So I wanted to get a video out to you guys. And that's kind of why I was already in not a super happy, positive mindset, because I was tired. And two, I just watched a 31-3 game, and it was really not interesting at all. I was like, dang, this stinks. This is not a great way to start the season. This is not what I was expecting to happen. So I was not in the best state of mind during that video. So just understand, if you've seen that video and you're like, dang, why are you so negative? I wasn't in the best state of mind. But now I'm bringing a video back here today, and we're going to be taking a look at the Detroit Lions stock watch. So what is a stock watch? That's what we have to answer. A stock watch is basically to take a look at what the players did. So we'll take a look at last night's game and really decide who rose their stock, who, really fell in the stock, and who really stayed the same. Now, a stock market is basically like, if it goes up, your stock, you want your stock to go up. Your stock goes up, that's good. And for NFL sense, how we're doing with the teams, if your stock goes up, maybe you have a better chance of making the team, getting more playing time. If it falls, you have a less chance of making the team, getting less playing time. And if it's steady, you're really just staying in the same spot. Now, we're not going to look at every single player because, one, not everybody played. Some guys barely played at all, like Hawkinson. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to look at some of the main ones that we saw from yesterday. So we're going to start this off with a positive note. Yes, I'm positive once again. And we're going to start this off with Miles Killebrew in the rising category. Miles Killebrew may have helped his stock more than any other player on the Detroit Lions yesterday. He was really, really good at that linebacker position, and he was really looking for a new role with the Lions because at that safety spot, he was struggling. It wasn't working out. He wasn't even getting snaps last season. But now in 2019, they're like, okay, we're going to use you as a linebacker, going versus second stringers and third stringers. So it's not like he's playing against Tom Brady and stuff like that. But he still played very well. And what he brings at that linebacker position is the ability to play like a safety. He has the abilities that a safety would have, but also at that linebacker spot. And that gives him a lot of advantages that not a lot of other linebackers have. And at the same time, he's not like a safety that's not a big hitter. He's not just a cover guy. This dude hits super, super hard. He hits like a linebacker. So he's definitely a really good fit for a linebacker position. It gives the Lions an opportunity to mix things around, and it definitely gives him a chance to make the team. Miles Killebrew is the first person on the rising stock watch list. Now, we're going to move over to the next guy on the list, and that is Ty Johnson. Now, Ty Johnson, we didn't see a lot of yesterday. I was kind of hoping we'd see a little bit more, but again, I'm not very surprised. He's a rookie. You don't want to see a lot. You don't want to risk anything. But we saw a little bit, and we saw some good flashes, okay? He actually had a 13-yard run that was called back at really, really early in the game, and that was a nice burst of speed we saw. We saw it out of the shotgun. He kind of just came over. He took the handoff, and he kind of got to the outside. He showed some of that speed once he cut upfield, got 13 yards. Now, it was called back because of an offensive penalty, but it was still a nice run. Then in the third quarter, we actually saw a 17-yard run from Ty Johnson. So we saw some flashes. We didn't see a lot of him consistently. Not very surprising once again, but we saw flashes, and we saw a lot more of Mark Thompson and Zach Zenner in last night's game. So, those guys were consistently doing what they do, right? They'll give you a few yards here and there. Zenner's going to give you 3 to 4 yards. You're going to get Mark Thompson that's going to give you basically the same thing. He didn't play bad either. Mark Thompson did pretty well. So you could also put him on this list. I didn't. But Ty Johnson definitely helped himself out. I think he looked really good compared to a lot of other players on our team from yesterday. We also have Ryan Santoso, who rose his stock yesterday. Ryan Santoso played well. He actually gave the Detroit Lions their only score of the game, making that field goal. But this guy can kick field goals. He can kick the ball off, and he can punt. He can do all three things, and he did them very well. He had a very, very nice punt that pinned them back inside the 10-yard line where he caught it. Now, he did escape a little bit out of there, but it was still a very, very big punt. So Ryan Santoso definitely helped himself out. And this is one of those guys that on the Lions that because we already have Matt Prater and Sam Martin, he may not make the team. But even if he does make the team, he could definitely be trade bait and move somewhere else and use his talents otherwise. But I would love to keep this guy around. It's just really hard to keep 2 kickers or 2 punters around. Most likely teams usually don't do that. But I don't know. I just have this weird feeling that he's competing right now with Matt Prater. He seemed far-fetched, and you're like, that's crazy. I just have a feeling right now Ryan Santoso is kind of fighting with Matt Prater for that starting position. Like, Matt Prater we know is getting older. And, Matt Prater is probably still on a higher level than Santoso, right? He's unproven. This is preseason. This is offseason. I'll give you that. but I just see a lot of fight coming from Ryan Santoso. We've seen him before, but either way, he definitely helped himself out yesterday. And the final guy I decided to put on here with Tom Kennedy. Now, Tom Kennedy, who actually a lot of you guys liked from last night's game, he did show some really nice flashes catching the ball. Tom Kennedy's not a guy you really hear about a lot. I liked his effort. The effort that he showed was outstanding to me, and that's something that you love to see. Even if you don't come down with the ball, I want to see the effort, and he definitely showed that. So Tom Kennedy is also on that rising list. Now, unfortunately, there was some guys, though, that kind of fell last night, and there is time to fix that. There's definitely like 3 more weeks, really 4 more weeks before the regular season even starts, so these guys have time to fix it. Don't worry about it. But those guys are Terrell Crosby, Michael Ford, and Andrew Donnell. So starting off with Terrell Crosby, playing that tackle position, he just straight up struggled. He did. He gave up a couple of sacks. He was playing too high, and they were easily getting by him. Michael Ford was struggling at that cornerback position very, very bad. Michael Ford just couldn't seem to cover anybody, and he got burnt a lot. He got caught on some routes that, they caught passes on him. They were just good grabs. Like, the quarterbacks were playing well. Jared Stidham was doing his thing. Brian Hoyer was playing well, and there were good wide receivers like N'Keal Harry that were also playing well, but Michael Ford just didn't play very well at all yesterday. So he definitely didn't help himself because, as we know, this is one of those guys that are on the bubble, but we didn't see Tease Tabor. So Tease Tabor really couldn't get a leg up in the race because he wasn't out there. And finally, Andrew Donnell, very similar to Terrell Crosby, just struggled at that guard position. We didn't see a lot of good things from Andrew Donnell or Terrell Crosby, but overall, as a whole, the offensive line just struggled. That second and third string group struggled. But again, they have time to fix it. It's the first preseason game. We can't overreact to one preseason game. It honestly means nothing, and it's just practice for them. By week 4, I expect to see a way better team on the field, and we definitely should. We just have to give them time. Some teams spark and they get going earlier than others. The Patriots are known to be a team that just gets going earlier than others. That's why they have so many Super Bowl rings. And I like what someone said in the comments below. I don't know exactly who it was, but this is why the Patriots are so great, and this is why they win so many Super Bowls, because their second and third strings are really, really good players. So you're absolutely right with that. They have some really good depth, and I do like our depth. I'm still confident in our depth. We just need a little bit more work together. And finally, I have 3 guys that are pretty much on a steady pace right now. Those guys include Jelani Tavai, Amani Oruwariye, I think I'm getting better with that, and Brandon Powell. Those are 3 guys that kind of just stayed even keel. I think Jelani Tavai played well. You could put him in the rise category. I'm going to sit him in the steady category. And you have Amani, who started off really, really slow, gave up a touchdown, really didn't even know where the ball was. But then he bounced back, made a couple of plays, got a position to make an interception. Unfortunately, he didn't get the interception because the wide receiver made a nice play knocking it away. But then he was in position after those 2 plays early. So we definitely bounced back, which is awesome to see. So that puts him in the steady column. And Brandon Powell, who had a few grabs here and there, some nice ones to start the game for sure. Overall, though, it was really hard to see any kind of wide receivers today or yesterday because the offensive line was struggling so bad. Fails couldn't really get the ball off. And Brandon Powell also had a few nice returns, had a couple of bad ones, but a few nice ones. So Powell definitely stayed steady, and that's actually not a bad thing. Look how many players struggling yesterday. It's not a bad thing to be known as a steady player from yesterday's game. So that is my stock watch for the Detroit Lions after yesterday. Let me hear your thoughts, comments below. Positivity is here. Don't worry, guys. It was a long night. It was a 3-hour stream. I was tired, and I was just trying to get a video out. Just understand, we're all good. Don't be worried. It doesn't mean anything. Week number 2 will come up sooner than later. We're on to the next week now where the Lions face Houston Texans, and you can expect a better performance. So, again, let me hear your thoughts, comments below. Thank you, Prep, for watching, and I'm out.